equivalent. The same with cod liver oil. Walmart, less than $3 a bottle. And I couldn't even find it. I went to like 5 different stores. Everybody was either out or they don't carry it. It's not to be confused with fish liver oil. This is a superior product. Respiratory issues, it can help. Believe me, I probably saved my life when I was 10 years old and I had pneumonia. So you got to look into some of this stuff. And there's the juices. You got the cranberries and the pineapple juice and the carrot juice. You got honey. You got, prayer, of course, is super important. Having peace of mind, and, you got to forgive, and you got to love your enemies, love strangers. There's basil, and there's ginger, and there's cinnamon. Just to name a few spices. Even salsa is super healthy. I mean, chips and salsa, how hard is that to go down? I got to get some of that. I got to get that on my list before I forget. But, that's filled with healthy stuff. What's in there? You got garlic and cilantro, red peppers, vinegar, so onions. It's good stuff, good healthy stuff. Vitamin K, super important. Spinach, greens. Then you take a supplement, maybe a B complex supplement if you're not getting enough from cereals and stuff. Zinc is super healthy. Everybody knows for cold and stuff, take zinc. Pure water, lots of pure water. I mean, just drink it. Have it nearby so you don't have to wait for you to get thirsty, but it's right there. And just drink it at will. Getting plenty of rest, sleep. And that's just to name a few things that you could do to mitigate the harmful effects of any junk food you might be eating. So look it up. I mean, you go talk to your physician about any of this advice first. Okay, I'm not a doctor, but if you're interested in something, look into it because there's things you can do. Okay, my dad was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when he was in his 30s. Doctors, plural, told him he had 5 years to live. That was their diagnosis. And guess what? He lived to be 86. So, and his dad died at 72. So my dad lived 14 years longer than his dad, who wasn't diagnosed with any deadly disease like multiple sclerosis. I figure if I live another 14 years from my dad, then I'm going to go to a nice even 100. So anyhow, my friends, I just wanted to share that with you. Say, I recently watched this special on on John Denver. What a guy! What a beautiful voice that guy. What a beautiful human being. Everybody liked John Denver, right? Am I right? That guy, and he died. He loved flying, and he died in such a beautiful place. The guy ran out of fuel. Come on, I think he might have killed himself, but he didn't want anyone to know. So they said he couldn't open the reserve fuel or something. I don't buy it. He was a very experienced pilot. But he had some experimental plane. He was in the beautiful Monterey Bay Sanctuary. I mean, what better place to pick to die, huh? But, yeah, I was really impressed. I like that guy. Those are the kind of people I want to be with. And wherever I'm going from here, man, yeah, I want to be with my kids and my mom. I want to see her and family and stuff, friends and the great people in history. That's where I want to go from here. On the other side of this veil, I want to be there. I watched a piece on these flight paths in the ghettos, and I say to myself, wait a minute, no, this should be done by a lottery system or rotating. It's not fair to, over your neighborhood, we're just going to have these planes going all the time. No, you're going to have to change it up every once in a while, or let's do a lottery. That's fair, right? You never know what's going to happen. So it's just by pick. The loser or the winner of the lottery, let's say, that's your flight path for the next couple of months, and then we change it up so nobody gets overburdened with it. It's not fair. If anybody watches South Park, you've probably seen that episode. Cartman, I don't know, he's the boss of the other guys, and he says, to help you understand why the evil men hate the righteous men. They don't question my authority. And the way Cartman, how dare you question my authority? You remember Cartman? What a character, huh? Last week I was talking about preachers I like, either on television. But I forgot Hal Lindsey. He's one of my favorite, too. I like that guy. I don't agree with everything he says. But I do like him quite a lot. And it's funny, he goes way back. He wrote the book Late Great Planet Earth, the movie. I'm in the process of trying to watch this thing now with Orson Welles. But my mom actually, she knew him. My mom passed in 1979. She died very young. She was 47, almost 48, but her first heart attack took her life. And that's so young. The older I get, they think, my God, she was just a kid practically. So tough pill to swallow, but I like him. I watch him. He's on YouTube, Hal Lindsey. I like preachers generally, especially if I sense that they're not money grubbing televangelists. I don't like those people. I go to the drive-through bank. I told you about that, but whenever I go through I like to joke with them. I say, "What do you have a money printing press in the back room there?" And then when they're giving me the cash back, they count it out. I say, "What? They don't let you keep a little gratuity?" And so I like to make people smile and smirk, laugh, whatever. But I get these clerks too. Like I'll go in there. Everybody's heard dollars called smackers, and I say, "Well, you know how they got that name, right?" They say, usually they don't know, and I'll say, "Well, it's the mafia. You don't pay them their dollars; they smack you around a little bit." But actually, I made that up because it probably comes from the county fair. If anybody's watched these old Popeye episodes, the artwork is incredible, especially those oldest ones, the black and the intricacy of some of that art blows your mind. How all the time and the skill spent on this artwork, incredible. I love artists. I love them all. I totally get artists. We're all artists, really. In some way, we are. If we haven't discovered it, just try it. I mean, have hobbies, and art is one of them. We're all artists some way, even if it's photographic art. We can all be artists. We have that in us, a propensity to being artistic. And so I really like artists. They're very important. Like poets, people say, "Well, what use? We don't need it." Hey, it's important for the soul, the spirit, and the imagination, our creative side, our godlike side, really. So I really like artists, but yeah, you'll see that the county fair, that it's for a kiss. You pay $1 for a kiss, right? And the kiss is also called a smacker, right? On guys and cleanliness. If you're a guy, you understand dust. I mean, what is with dust, guys, right? I don't know how women keep their homes dusted. I have no idea. It blows my mind. They're supernatural beings. They can keep a house as clean as they do. But, guys, if you do live with a woman, even if you live alone, the toilet seat is something you should be on top of. Not the toilet seat, but the rim. Clean it every time you use it, no matter how careful you're being. Still, as a precaution, take a couple of squares of toilet paper and clean around the rim, And stay clean. If you ever have a woman in your house, you're going to want her to think that you're not a pig, that you're hygienic and all that sort of thing. So stay clean. Don't depend on mommy or a girl, a lady, a wife, whoever, to be your babysitter. They don't want that. All right, friends, I'm on to a couple of thoughts from this last week. It's like we're all presently in hell. That is here on earth. At first, we cannot readily see it. Some choose not to see it. The wise believers sees it, or rather chooses to see it. Then they understand that they have a job to do, a mission of sorts. That mission to convince others to desire to see truth, the truth. Then collectively, in an unstoppably determined fashion, demand this metaphorical hell be rendered a heaven, one day at a time. In consideration of the idea that we all have the opportunity and potential to be found deserving of inheriting a better world, an ideal world, a perfect world, a heaven, if you will, we would all serve ourselves well to ponder exactly what this place will look like, will be like, down to the smallest detail, and then thank God for our power of thought, of imagination, to accomplish that world. When it comes to determining precisely who to target in order to be free, we must zero in on those with the power to dilute our money, our wealth, the money printers, the politicians, and a deliberately remiss Labor Department. After the, quote, incident in the allegorical Garden of Eden, everything went to pot. Well, friends, I'm going to leave it there. And best to everybody. I love everybody. And remember, let's sock it to the evildoers. Let's defy them by uniting. Okay, this is their worst nightmare. Let's make it come true. Okay, so peace out, and no shortage of best, because we're all individuals, and it's beauty is in the eye of the beholder kind of thing. Okay, so just go out there, make friends, and convince them to be on the right side of history, to be God's friend, and let them know how it's going to be, and that we need to be ashamed. We need compunction because we've not been very good children. Okay, so let's unify and let's get it together. Let's solve our problems. Let's fix